On to the business news now then on France 24. The latest results are kicking us off now from the streaming giant Netflix. Our business editor Stephen Carroll is here with all the details. Stephen.
Stuart, if you recognise this, you'll have one of the good reasons why Netflix results went up. It is, of course, Squid Game, the South Korean show, which has brought a flood of new subscribers to Netflix, boosting its financial results beyond what had been expected for the company. It's the biggest ever series launch on the platform, reaching more than 142 million viewers globally so far. Now, all of this has helped to bring more people to Netflix in a time of year which is traditionally slower when it comes to growing subscribers. The company also getting a boost from the recent Facebook outage. It says that engagement jumped by 14% during those hours when the social network was offline. The company optimistic about the rest of the year as well, as Brian Quinn now reports.
A
global phenomenon from the world's top streaming platform. Squid Game reached 142 million households in its first month of streaming alone. The violent dystopian South Korean drama is now Netflix's biggest hit ever. Costing just $22 million to produce, the company estimates its value at over $900 million. International non-English language successes like Squid Game have helped US-based Netflix's third quarter results to beat expectations, with double the new subscribers from a year earlier. 4.4 million people signed up from July through September, bringing total subscribers to nearly 214 million. The company expects to add 18.4 million for 2021 as a whole.
We're in uncharted territory. We have so much content coming in Q4 like we've never had. So we'll have to feel our way through, and it rolls into a great next year also.
The third quarter numbers are a welcome return to accelerating growth. Early in the year, pandemic-related production delays reduced new offerings, just as the lifting of lockdowns slowed demand for streaming content. Challenges remain, including stiffening competition from newer platforms like Disney Plus and HBO Max. Netflix is also facing backlash over the latest stand-up special from comedian Dave Chappelle, which has been denounced by both critics and company employees as transphobic.
Now, Bitcoin has reached another milestone, the cryptocurrency's value rising further after the first exchange-traded fund linked to Bitcoin began trading in New York on Tuesday. On its first day, the fund saw a turnover of almost $1 billion. It's the second biggest debut in history for a fund of its kind in the US. All of this helping to push up the price. According to CoinDesk a short time ago, Bitcoin trading just under $64,000. It had hit a record high of almost $65,000 in trading yesterday. Facebook has agreed to pay over $14 million to settle claims that it illegally discriminated against American workers. The US Department of Justice had accused the social media giant of reserving certain jobs for foreign employees over US ones. Facebook says it did follow the rules, but will now pay a fine of almost $5 million to the US government, as well as $9.5 million to victims of the alleged discrimination. Let's take a quick look at what's happening on the stock markets for you next. European shares starting the day with some small gains. Nestlé shares up 3% at the open after its latest results showed strong growth. Some of their star products in that last 3-month reporting period was coffee, particularly Nespresso pods, helping to move things along for Nestlé. That's the picture across London, Paris and Frankfurt. In Asian trading earlier, bit more of a mixed picture. We had some gains boosted by optimism over the global economy, but worries about the property sector in China weighing on investors there. The Hang Seng in Hong Kong actually being boosted mainly by technology shares. That's rising prices of the likes of Alibaba and Tencent that are helping to lift the Hang Seng Hong Kong. And finally for me, Argentina's government is trying a new strategy to try and win votes ahead of next month's elections. It's frozen the price of more than 1,400 household items as it tries to cool rampant inflation in the country. The prices will remain fixed until January the 7th. The left-leaning government pushed through the measure after it failed to secure agreement from business groups. Inflation in Argentina is running at 53% annually. The hope, of course, being these price controls might be able to help some of that. Hasn't always worked when they've tried it in the past, though.
No, exactly. Will it work here is the next question, in fact, Stephen, because we're going to talk about something very, very similar.